Hello everyone and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. My name is Dalton and today we're going to be talking about The Last Duel. You're talking about a movie that is a historical epic directed by Ridley Scott, written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and Nicole Holofcener. God. So naturally, I was there as early as I could to see this fucking movie. Love all of those things. And no surprise, the movie is really good. I do want to address one thing about the movie though that not a lot of people know going in, and I think knowing this helps the viewing experience. So if you don't want to know anything about The Last Duel, I'm not going to spoil any plot details. I'm simply going to tell you how the story is told, the structure of this story. If you don't want to know, you can click out, but I don't think it's a big spoiler, so I'm going to do it now. This movie is set up, surprise, the movie is called A Last Duel. There's a duel, and the movie is about the lead up to the duel. And it's the same period of time through three different perspectives, the truth according to three different characters: Matt Damon's character, Jodie Comer's character, and Adam Driver's character. Now, when the movie started, I was initially critical of the first act of the movie, the first perspective of the story, and it's just because it felt like it was going through a lot. Like there was no room to breathe. It was just boom, 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 one thing to the next, and I was like, my God, like, what happened here? And then I realized that how they're telling a story and that they're going to do the same thing from this person's perspective. And then when you think back on the first part, it's written from the perspective of the character, and that character is very fast-paced, easygoing, considers himself a hero, and it's written to reflect how he thinks. And then in the second version of it, it's the same thing, except this time it's a different character's perspective. And then when I realized that, I was like, oh, okay. So I enjoyed the first act more retrospectively, although it still felt rushed, which I think could have been fixed. But overall, that's kind of a nitpicky thing. They do a great job of having each perspective not be the same thing over and over again. When it has to overlap to show you key differences in how a certain thing was viewed, it does, but for the most part, it keeps them separate, and it focuses on a different relationship or a different type of way to move the story forward, which I thought was really interesting. All of the performances are excellent. Matt Damon's good, Adam Driver's good, Jodie Comer's good, Ben Affleck. Okay, everyone knows I'm a big Ben Affleck fan. Even with that being said, even if I wasn't, he steals the show in this movie. He is just having fun, knows exactly who his character is, and it's just you gotta see him. It's so funny. Another positive is, the sets, the costumes, the feel. It really, puts the audience into the world that it's showing, and it does a great job of doing that. Most of the battle sequences are well done. There are some times where it's a little shaky, you can't really see anything, but you get to see the last duel in the movie. They show the fight, and the fight was not disappointing. It was fucking awesome. And I was worried leading up to the final fight, because you take three different perspectives to get there. With all this build up, I'm like, oh, there's no way that this fight's gonna be satisfying. And it was an awesome fight. So it's worth it. It's worth the journey. Jodie Comer, I think, other than Ben Affleck, gives the greatest performance in the movie. She's excellent. Adam Driver is a very scary antagonist. I don't think it's a spoiler to say he's an antagonist. You can just watch the movie and kind of see for yourself. But having the three different screenwriters, I guess I assume each screenwriter tackled a different perspective. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure on record they said that Nicole tackled Jodie Comer's perspective, and I think that was a really, really smart move. There were some nuances in there that I think would have gone over other writers' heads. And I saw the movie with Hannah, and she was pointing out things that even I had missed from that part of the movie, and things that had I not seen it with her, I wouldn't have even noticed. So that just goes to show that having her do that third act of the story was a great idea, and it really helped build things to the finale of the movie. The only major downsides I have about the movie are, one, the first act is a little fast, and there's not a whole lot of room to breathe. And I know it's intentional, but I still think it could have been done in a better way, especially with all the talent involved. And also, I honestly feel like, because it's a rather long movie, it's about 2.5, I honestly feel like you could have completely cut Matt Damon's character's perspective from the beginning. Honestly, just cutting that section entirely and just having him be viewed through the perspective of Adam Driver and Jodie Comer, and have those two perspectives kind of be the drive of the movie. I think that, making those decisions could have helped the story flow better. But with that being said, the people involved in making this movie are way more fucking talented than I could ever be. So, them being able to pull it off as good as it was is a mastery. I think this is a great movie. You do feel its runtime a little bit. There are some pacing issues with it, but overall, it's really interesting. It's thought-provoking, and the final fight does not disappoint. I'm going to give The Last Duel an A-. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.